What's good, YouTube? It's Kevin here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel, and oh man, today I have a little bit of an out-of-genre YouTube video for you guys. I'm going to be doing a how to cop video, and so this is actually for the upcoming restock for the PacSun Fear of God Essentials line, and honestly speaking, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I'm just going to give you guys my tips and tricks as to what I've done in the past to see some degree of success with these drops. And yeah, I have had pretty good success with these drops. So yeah, this does not by any means guarantee that you're going to cop something. It might just increase your chances just a tad bit. But anyways, I'm just going to dive straight into the video, and the first and foremost thing that I think you guys have to do is preparation. And so in preparation, there are a lot of little like subsections, because it's like the main thing, I'd say. So I'm just going to go through them one by one. Number one, you want to be able to differentiate between online and in-store drops. So I think in-store drops are a lot easier to cop simply because you can just walk in the store. Usually if you go like an hour or two after they open, they still have a majority of their inventory left, so it's just a really quick, easy cop, and plus there's not usually a line for these now, so it's just less hype, a lot easier, very accessible. In comparison, online, it's a little bit more crowded. You get put in a waiting room, and yeah, but the advantage to trying to cop online, though, is that it is more accessible. Whereas with in-store copping, you have only a few stores that actually get that inventory. Online, you can definitely cop with ease, knowing that when inventory is there, you typically also get more inventory online, and sometimes there are also online exclusives. So yeah, that's a little bit of the difference for you guys. Depending on where you live, you might have access to a store, you might have access to online, and so that really is a little bit of preparation that you guys should do. Moving to the next step, you should also know when it drops or when your store opens. So a good way of knowing the online drop is subscribing to the newsletter. I get random newsletter notifications from PacSun, so yeah, that's how I found out about this restock to begin with. And so yeah, sign up for the newsletter, go look through the lookbook, etc., etc. Just familiarize yourself with generally what's there and what options you have. Of course, moving on now, in preparation, you definitely need to know what you want and what size you want it in. And so, as for sizing, I do a bunch of Fear of God Essential sizing on my channel, so I'll just leave the past Kevin to help you guys with that. But in terms of knowing what you want, I think it's very important to like sift through the lookbook, kind of gauge like what's coming out, what's restocking, and making yourself a little list, you know, like this is the #1 item I want, this is the #2 item I want, and so on and so forth. Of course, I've actually had instances where I'm shopping online and I didn't know what I wanted, and like some of the things that I ended up really wanting sold out, and I didn't cop as much from the drop. So that's just me throwing out there an example. It's really important to know exactly what you want and also draw lines for yourself. So like if, you know, 3 things that you really, really want get sold out, you probably are better off waiting for the next drop and trying again there. I honestly am not too big of an advocate just to buy something. I really am picky about the colorway, and I'm also picky about, you know, like the fit, the piece, etc., etc. So, but anyways, that's how I spend my money. How you guys spend your money is up to you. I just wanted to throw that out there, just as a tip, you know. Anyways, moving on to the final preparation step, I guess, it's to set up a PayPal. I think PayPal just expedites the checkout process so much because 1, you're guaranteed buyer protection, 2, you autofill your address if you do check out with PayPal, and 3, you can always escalate claims, and if anything gets like lost or anything, it's just really easy to escalate PayPal claims. And so I feel like PayPal gives this added protection, and it is always my go-to when shopping online, and I would recommend it for you guys as well. So as far as the actual drop goes, I have a couple of tips and tricks, I guess. So the first one is set an alarm if you're doing online. So usually I suggest people set an alarm for roughly 30 minutes before and prepare to enter like the waiting room queue line around like 30 minutes to 20 minutes before. Usually that's where majority of my luck comes in. I guess it actually is true that if you're the first one in the waiting room, then you're the first one who has access to see everything. I really haven't had a problem with that on online shopping. As far as other tips and tricks go, I think that it's super important to highlight that you guys should have good internet for these drops. If your internet cuts out, your computer goes to sleep, or anything on that kind of note, it's just really bad for you. You lose your spot in line, and you know, you just get put back a little bit. And if you want items that sell out quickly, it's just a little hard, you know. Anyways, yeah, that's another tip that I want to suggest for you guys. And the last tip is, I think when it comes down to just the PacSun release, this is the proper protocol, I think. In terms of other releases, of course, if you strike out, like, I think that Essence is a good place to look because they usually release on same day or around same time. And also Nordstrom tends to get these as well. I don't know if it's a PacSun specific restock, but if it is a restock for all the retailers across the board, you might have some luck with Essence or Nordstrom. It never hurts to check. You just look it up, be like Fear of God Essentials or something like that. And usually you'll have some luck there. But yeah, generally speaking, here are just some personal opinion and tips. So I personally don't think that you guys should buy everything in the collection. Definitely try to narrow it down to like 1 or 2 items that you really, really want and you really want to include in your wardrobe. And on top of that, don't be afraid to try different items from the collection. I think that the fleece is a very, very good alternative, and I hope they restock it this next kind of restock. The other things that I think would be nice to restock are the puffer jacket, maybe some of the like sage colorways, the earth tones. But yeah, these colors are definitely really unique in the upcoming drop, and if they restock them, then that's great news for you guys. And yeah, the final thing is, you know, at the end of the day, it's just a drop, so there's always going to be more. Like, they're always going to continue the line, they're going to continue this. It's meant to be accessible, so if you don't get what you want in whatever, like, form you want it in, just wait till the next one. Like, I struck out on black sweatpants, and so I just waited a little bit and got them later on. Yeah, that kind of concludes my how to cop tips and tricks video. I hope you guys gained something from this. Good luck copying, you guys, if you guys are doing it online. Of course, if you're doing it in store, it's just show up like 20 minutes early, and then, you know, you should be fine, like, getting what you want, and usually you'll have a good choice for inventory. But yeah, if you have any questions about how to cop, leave them down below. This video should go live on Wednesday, so that's a cool surprise for you guys, I guess. Let me know how I'm doing, if you guys are enjoying the content, and yeah, thanks for tuning in. Happy copying, you guys.